Hey, what's up everyone? LTC here and welcome back to another episode of GameTimeTV. If you enjoy athletic-based content and want to hear more, please hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications to GameTimeTV on YouTube. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at GameTimeTV19 and on X at GameTimeYT. Now, let's get started. Were you an early star or were you a late bloomer in your sport?
For me, I would probably say I was an early star only because I was taller than a lot of the guys and a lot more physical. And my freshman year, I didn't really adjust to that. So I was still, I was trying to figure out how to shoot threes while still, I guess, being in a big man mindset. Because my 8th grade year, they used me as a big man and didn't really teach me how to dribble and stuff and how to play guard. So that's another subject we could talk about. Coaches, you got to teach your big men in 8th grade how to play guard. They can't be a 5'10" center in high school. That's never going to work.
Preach, bro, preach, because my kid do not. I had that same issue.
My coaches never taught me it. My 8th grade coaches never developed my dribbling. They never developed my shooting. I had to develop that all on my own. But anyways, I'd say early start because I didn't necessarily like I definitely was good my later years, but definitely I was more of a physical specimen when I was in my younger years of high school than my older years, just because, and especially my senior year when I transferred to a school that was 2 divisions up. I mean, it was like playing a different, faster, just overall, just a completely different game of basketball. So yeah, I mean, I'd probably say early star. Those reasons.
I would say in high school, late bloomer for football, but in middle school when I was playing basketball, I would say I was a bit of a late bloomer in that too. But the main reason I for sure agree with David when it comes to the basketball take is because I also was around 5'8", 5'9" in 8th grade. And I was basically a center. Because no one else was like, I take that back. I had a teammate that was like 6'2", 6'5"
That's a big jump. So a little bit of a more discreet range.
Yeah.
Don't go 6'2", 6'5". That's a huge difference. That's a big jump between 6'2" and 6'5". You gotta give a more closer range than that, because the difference between 6'2" and 6'5", especially to scouts, that's big.
Okay, so that's a very fair point. The dude was,
and you're telling me he was what age? What grade?
8th grade, so we had to be either 12 or 13.
You're telling me you had a 6'2" middle schooler?
Yes, as a center. I'm not joking.
Oh my god!
I'm not joking.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, at 6. I envy those people because I was a 5'4" 7th grader. I envy y'all who are 6 foot and 13 years old. What the heck?
Yeah, I mean, here's the crazy thing. Because when I went to the doctor one time when I was freshman in high school,
They said you were going to say 5'4".
No,
he is 5'4", ladies and gentlemen.
I am not 5'4". I am 5'11", and I am perfectly fine with that height.
He wishes.
No, I am 5'11", and I'm perfectly fine with that height. I am 5'11". If y'all come to me in real life, I will be 5'11". You could assume that I'm 6 foot, but I am 5'11", and I don't really care that I'm not 6 foot.
He cares. He talks about it too much.
Okay, I'll probably do without even realizing it.
He complains about it too much.
Complaining is a stretch. Complain's a huge stretch.
No, it's not. Yeah, you're right. It's not a stretch. It's the truth.
All right, bro.
Anyways, let's move on.
Yeah, no, that's a crazy dig, but all right. All right. Now, have you ever seen a player dominate early but just disappear later?
Yeah, so I have a couple. I could name a couple of people. I remember when I was in middle school and I was kind of like not athletic and had like nothing at all. We had a kid on our feeder team. And for those of you who don't know what feeder are in the state of Illinois, it's essentially like future. So the kids that are going to the certain high schools in the area from middle schools, they're playing to represent their high school. So I went to my middle school, but we were the Grays Lake North feeder team program. But I went to Grays Lake Middle School. I was representing my high school as a middle schooler, and we were playing other middle schoolers representing their high school.
Really?
So we would play Grant's seventh grade team. So the seventh graders in Grant's district that were going to Grant High School.
Oh.
So that's essentially what feeder was. But anyways, we had a guy on our team. I think it was like 5'7", 5'8", probably one of the most physical specimens I'd ever seen. And by the time we got to high school, Buddy just stopped growing. And I was like, or he might have been 5'6" or 5'7", but in middle school, I don't know. But he was a physical specimen. And then like as we got older, I just grew and towered over him. I think most people did. He just stopped growing, and he stopped playing basketball too, I think. So
I mean, at that point,
I think he started playing football though. So
you can get away with being that small in football, 100%.
Well, yeah, like a running back or I think you could wide receiver maybe.
You can, because I think Tyreek Hill's like 5.
Yeah. If you're speedy is your
you're gonna be the X.
Yeah,
for sure. You're X.
Speedy. So
yeah,
I'm sure I could think of a couple other examples. There are probably a couple of guys I played with on my actual middle school team that were like pretty good, and then just like could not live up to either that, or they just stop playing. So that's the most prevalent example I have. That's the most relevant and the biggest one that came to my mind. Do you have one?
Yeah, me. Yeah, me. All right. David is currently looking at me with very like he's thinking that like BS. There's no way. Yeah, no, it was me, because
you would make this about you. You would make this about you.
All right, bro. All right. All right.
You would make this about
No, because I couldn't think of anyone else, but I'm like,
just say that if you really okay. I want to hear this explanation, that I may or may not take my comment back.
Okay. The main reason why is because so coming into high school, well, for middle school, I was like an all right basketball player, and I was continuing to grow because I was always going to the park, focusing on my shooting, getting better at finishing, stuff like that. And, I've always had very good defense back then. But the moment I got into high school, I didn't know how everything worked. Like when it comes to like playing football and basketball, because in football, like you have those early sessions, but basketball is like, it was kind of weird at my school. It's like, I think middle of the day, like right after football.
Yeah, that's how they normally do.
Yeah, so I didn't really know how to navigate it back then, especially as a freshman, and I just progressed, well, not progressively. I got more and more away from basketball and more into football.
Okay.
And I lost some of those traits that I had. Like I was developing a little bit of a handle and stuff like that, but I just all of it slowly disappeared. And in my senior year, I was playing basketball again, and I was doing all right. Like I was a very strong finisher, and I had a 3-point shot still, and I played all right defense. And one of the coaches of the basketball team, and he saw me when I was like in 8th grade, and he saw me playing everything. He told me, he was like, "Man, why didn't you play basketball when you were here in the high school?" And I was like, I didn't know what to say, but I knew what to say too, is because I didn't make the tryouts. But also, even before,
you didn't make them, or you didn't try out?
No, I didn't make them twice. And the second time I tried out, I didn't make it. I left it alone.
Okay.
And also the team was already like set.
Yeah.
And they were just doing like random tryouts.
That's another thing we could talk about. High school tryouts are rigged. They are rigged because they are already set.
Yeah.
If you did not come to the summer stuff and you haven't played basketball for a decent amount of time, you'll probably make the freshman team. But if you don't show up, if you don't do the summer stuff, you ain't making anything.
Yeah.
The tryouts are rigged.
And I just didn't know how to how to navigate that.
Okay.
And
I slightly retract my statement.
Slightly.
Because like you just fell out of love with the game. You started to gear towards another sport, and that's actually another opinion. That's actually another topic we can talk on. Is should people be more one sport than two sports?
That's
another.
Wait, hold on. No. I think that's right. It's something later on down the line. I think it is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, but
all right. So stay tuned. But
yeah, stay tuned. But for sure,
But I mean, just more that like, it's not like you dropped off the face of the earth. You just fell in love with a different sport.
Yeah. Yes, but I'll also say that after that tryout, that's where I got that reality check of like, yeah, I'm not playing basketball anymore. Because
you didn't even make the freshman team?
No, because like you said, like there was summer stuff and I didn't do the summer stuff mostly because I was mostly focused on football.
You didn't go right after the football? Because I had teammates who did both.
No, I didn't know how to handle that. I didn't know how to handle that.
What do you mean how to handle
to do both? Because when I first went into playing football down there in Oklahoma, did
the times overlap?
I don't think so. No, I don't think they overlap, but it was more of right after practice, I was like lifting weights and there was like weightlifting, all that stuff. And it was my first time doing it, so I was always sore.
Okay.
And I didn't know about some of the summer stuff for basketball, so I just didn't go, and I didn't know, and I kind of slowly didn't know the time and everything, when they start, and then I slowly did not go to the park anymore. Slowly stopped playing basketball, and I started doing more football stuff. Yeah, when that coach had said that to me, and I forgot his name, so I apologize to you, but when he had said that, it took me aback a little bit. I'm like, crap, I really could have been an all right basketball player if I kept going. But
anyways,
yeah, it's stuff.
Besides his set,
it is what it is.
Besides his sob story,
I don't want to. I didn't want to make it a sob story, but it is what it is now.
Thanks, Bart.
Did you ever feel like your development was slower than everyone else's?
Ooh, that's See, I'm not normal. I'm not like my experience wasn't like normal. So I'd say no. I'd say I had a year that probably was not. I wasn't put 100% to the test, but was I slower in my development? No, actually, I'd say I was more physically dominant my sophomore year than a lot of the kids I would end up playing with at North at public school. But would I say I was slower? No, I just had a year that I probably wasn't training the right way or being coached the right way. So,
and you know what? That's something that's something that's important when it comes to development. To all the student athletes out there, your development does depend on things like your physical maturity, like how what you do in the weight room, what you do outside the weight room, like how you take care of your body, your work ethic, that goes into physical maturity, and it also goes into your mental maturity.
Yeah.
Who is coaching you? That goes hand in hand with development.
Yeah.
And your opportunities also go hand in hand, along with your confidence, because all of those they should develop at the same time, but it doesn't mean that everyone's development is going to be in a straight line.
Yeah.
Because some people could develop a lot quicker than others. Some people develop slower, but at the same time, all of y'all are still putting in that work to try and get better. Of course, I'm not going to develop at the same rate as you, but I'm still here. I'm still putting in, doing what I need to do. And when it comes to me, yeah, I say my development was a lot slower than everybody else's. And just because I didn't really go to a necessarily good football high school. So development was
mediocre.
It wasn't as good. Plus, I mean, when you're playing a high school, when you go to a certain school and you're on a football team and you don't like some of the players early on, it just kind of gets you to a point to where it's like, I don't really want to play for y'all.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how I was in my freshman year, because it just wasn't good for me. But at the end all be all, every athlete's going to develop at different rates.
Yeah.
So no matter if you're a female or a male, just because someone is better at you at something, just because someone is better at you at something, that doesn't mean that you can eventually develop into that same person, or maybe even better. So don't sell yourself short. Everybody develops at a different rate.
Yeah.
Now let's move on to first segment, even though our beginning was pretty long. Late bloomers versus early stars. Now, okay. David, did you ever see someone dominate youth sports but kind of fade later?
Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely seen it before. And the thing with early bloomers is they think they're the crap. I mean, they think they're the best that they ever were, and they feel like they don't have to put in hard work. So yeah, I've seen a lot of people just they were pretty good athletes, and then they get to high school and they're just they're instantly humbled.
Yeah.
So
I've seen it a couple times as well. But the main reason why that early stars usually they dominate early is, just a physical maturity.
Yeah.
With that physical maturity, they'll get more playing time very early on.
Yeah.
And with getting playing time early, that just breeds more confidence, and then coaches trusting them more.
Yeah.
And a prime example of that is when let's say a random 14-year-old who is let's do something crazy. Let's say this random 14-year-old is 6'1", can bench. Let me see, if you're 14, 185, and is fat and runs let's say a 4.5. Usually, those coaches are going to be yeah, we got he's already 6'1", and like he has all this, and he's going to progressively get bigger, stronger, and faster. But that's not how it always works, because you can be that tall, you can be that strong, but all it takes is like a couple setbacks, and like all that advance that you had is going to like disappear later on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'm just gonna say this, David. If tell student athletes out there, if you realize that like you are that dude or you are that woman who like who has something special going on in their sport, I'm gonna say this: stay humble, because it's very easy for your body to just give out.
Yeah,
and
it is. Yeah,
yeah, and it's not only just that; it's also just as easy for a coach to.
Well, no coach likes an arrogant athlete.
Yeah.
They may tolerate you. They don't like you by any means. They don't like you by any means.
Yeah.
So, right. Just always stay humble.
Mm-hmm. And like, it's okay. Yes, it's important to have confidence and have confidence in yourself 100%.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But don't be so arrogant to be like, why?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm probably gonna have to delete that soon. Well, yeah, don't be so arrogant.
Yeah.
Now, why do some athletes develop much later than others?
I mean, that's kind of a loaded question in the sense that there's too many factors. One could be weightlifting. One could be just you haven't hit your growth spurt. And also just some need more work than others. Some athletes are more naturally talented than others. Others take longer to progress. But yeah, I think that those are a few of the many reasons.
Yeah, because how do I say this? Because even when it comes to some late bloomers, depending on it, they might not like the weight room starting off, because one, it's like they never lifted weights ever in their lives, and like they don't know how it feels to be sore and everything, and they're going to eventually like, I'm gonna stop doing this because I hate feeling like that. I feel like it's going to make me slower.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that when you're in the weight room, it's not going to make you slower. It's going to make you stronger. And depending on what you're training, legs, chest, arms, back, you will eventually like dominate in other ways than you never thought of.
Mm-hmm.
So it's important to there you are. It's important to all the late bloomers out there, or to anyone who developed later than others, is that take your time.
Yeah.
Just because someone is a star right now, that doesn't mean that they're going to be a star forever. You know what? It might end up being like that, but you will get the time. Okay, how do I say this? You will
develop if you keep practicing.
Yeah, you will develop if you keep practicing.
Yeah.
It's going to take a little while, but you will develop. And once you officially, okay, you know who are prime examples of people who took their time and developed?
Who?
Tom Brady, who is the GOAT. Unfortunately, because I'm okay, all right.
No, you're right.
Yes, he is the GOAT, and
never denied that.
Yes,
never denied that. You're right. Yeah,
he's the GOAT.
He took a lot of time. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Walk on for what was he, the 7th rounder for the Patriots?
Yeah, I think he was a walk on for Michigan. At Michigan.
Was he really? And he became their starter?
Let me check.
Because you're probably right about that. It's not. Yeah, you might be right.
Sorry, I'm just doing a little research. Oh, he wasn't a walk on.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't think he was a walk on uh, until he got to the league.
Yeah, when we became a mystery revelant with the 7th round.
He was a Mr.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah. Tom Brady was a highly recruited quarterback at Sarah High School in California. Forgot he.
Yeah, I mean, he was obviously a good prospect. Yeah.
Yeah. For that high school, that's a crazy bag you can pull on anyone. Yeah, GOAT was our QB here.
Yeah,
that's a crazy bag you can just pull out.
That's true. This is true.
Yeah. The other besides Tom Brady, the other person is also Josh Allen. And Josh Allen, it did take time for him to be a good QB right now. And you see him on the Bills, you see him like making all the throws and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, now this past year it wasn't that great on how he ended.
Yeah.
But it's still
we won't criticize him.
Yeah. But Josh Allen is still a good QB. And you know what? It even took time for him at Wyoming. And he was a walk-on at Wyoming, I think.
This is true.
No. I'm probably butchering that too, so I need to stop.
I'm trusting you with this information. You're just lying to me.
Okay. Stop. Wait. I wouldn't say he was a walk-on. So no, he wasn't walk-on. But Wyoming was his only Division I scholarship offer. And he was largely recruited. He was largely ignored by recruiters, and the only D1 school that actually gave him an opportunity was Wyoming.
Okay.
And I apologize. I am giving off wrong information. I'm not doing this on purpose.
Stop butchering.
I'm not trying to butcher anybody's name, but Josh Allen, he was a good QB at Wyoming, even though, I mean, last time he waltzed into Memorial Stadium, Nebraska, was not a good thing. Anyway, it was a bad day for him.
Yeah.
Last time he walked in here. But you know what? Josh Allen is still a very good QB.
Yeah.
And a person that not a lot of people thought about was Dennis Rodman.
Well, no. Even better example. His teammate, Scottie Pippen.
Oh, yeah. That is even better example.
Those two.
Because then...
Yeah. Pippen went to a D2 program, or either that was low D1. Forget. What was it? What was the name of the school?
He went to an Arkansas school, I think.
It was Arkansas State. It wasn't not a major program.
No, it wasn't. He went to Central Arkansas.
Central Arkansas, there it is.
And they are currently... Oh, okay. So they are considered D1, but they are D1 AA.
Yeah, they're low D1. They're probably the lowest of the low D1 standards.
Yeah. Oh, they just became conference regular season champions this year. But during the Sun Conference. But yeah, Scottie Pippen is a great example of that. And even though he was a first round pick, went 5th overall in the draft, it still took him time he still didn't go to a major Division I school. I don't think Central Arkansas was D1 yet. It was still probably something else.
Okay.
But he didn't really develop yet. He didn't really develop until probably... I think probably I think his junior to senior year. But you did bring up a very good point with Scottie Pippen. Now for Dennis Rodman,
that's a different breed, but
okay, you know what's weird? So Dennis Rodman, I'm pulling him up on Google.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. So they have him as a former basketball small forward. That doesn't seem right.
Yeah,
I don't think that's right. It's kind of weird. I saw him more as like a power forward.
No, that's what his position was. Anyways,
really?
Yeah. Power forward?
No, small forward.
No, he was not a small forward. He played power forward.
Power forward. Okay, it said power forward, small forward. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Like that doesn't make sense.
He probably could have been a 3, but because of his height. But anyways, we could sit here talking about basketball forever. But
yeah, let's move on.
Let's move on.
Okay, now from a next question I have pulled up is: do coaches sometimes invest too much in early stars? And I'm just going to answer this right off the bat. The answer to that is yes.
Yes,
because
sometimes they love to. How do I put this politely? They love to praise players who haven't earned anything yet.
Mm-hmm. Depending on the coach, yeah. I would definitely say so.
Younger players, yeah. My coach did that with our 6'7" freshmen, where he prayed it's not that he didn't work for it. He didn't really work for it. So
yeah, I can see that as a good example. Even besides that, I would say, well, like I say, yeah, because why? The main reason why coaches, for sure, some coaches do that is because they want to. They know they think that player can help them immediately to like win games and everything, and I would say sometimes some of those coaches have a lot of banking on certain players, and those players instantly becomes like what people say coaches' favorites. And coaches, if you're doing this, you're gonna need to chill out. It's plain and simple, because if you're investing way too early, okay, there's nothing wrong with believing in players, especially players that have significant potential. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But when you are putting a lot of investment into that specific player, there's another player on that squad that's probably not getting as much investment as you think. And you might say that, well, that's fine. That they'll just be a late bloomer and they'll develop later. You don't want that. Yeah, because you also don't know that. You also don't know that. Because think about it like this. Let's say if you do that to a player that has massive potential right now, and you have another player that's on the bench who just you haven't given a thought about. That player that has massive potential ends up crashing, and who knows if that player that's on the bench who believes in himself, if or herself, if they go on to go to a different school and they flourish over there, that's going to be a weird look on you. Yeah. Because you sat there and you spend time on somebody who is going to, well, you spent your time on someone that has lots of potential, but you should be investing time with every player on your squad. Yeah, I agree. If you're not doing that, then there is the potential of someone else's potential is going to drop. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. and like it doesn't help nobody. It probably will help you for investing the the early bloomer,
or just gives that player a bigger ego and he doesn't work hard. And all you're doing is just giving the player PT, and he takes advantage of it. And
PT.
playtime.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Why did you just say what's PT?
Because when I heard PT, the first thing that came to my mind, physical, huh?
Do I want to know? Oh, physical therapy.
Physical therapy, or you know what else? Like part timing. What I mean by part time is like they could show up to practice, or it's like they'll
Those two, the first things your mind goes to. Physical therapy makes sense.
But part time is like dudes who like have such massive egos that it's like, I don't really need to show up to practice today. And then coach wouldn't mind it if you don't.
Why wasn't playing time the second thing on your mind? What? Hard time? I haven't even heard that expression.
And I'm about to delete that. Delete that poop right there.
All right, next question.
Okay.
Next question.
How should athletes deal with being overlooked early?
You take it as motivation and you keep working hard. Now, there's a difference between being overlooked and being neglected.
What would you say is the big difference?
Neglected is you put in all the hard work you can and you're just not getting a look.
Mm-hmm.
So with neglected, with being overlooked, I don't think there's any justification in quitting. If you're just being plainly neglected and you're actually like one of the better players on the floor and you're just getting no playing time or getting no reps in games,
mm-hmm.
I would say if you're neglected, I think that's a valid reason to quit a sport or to quit that program.
Yeah.
Like if you want to go like try AAU or something, or like try to transfer. But I feel like when you're overlooked, it's just you just got to put in more work. But when you're neglected, I think that it's valid to like if you want to transfer or quit the program or just quit playing that sport and go try a different sport.
It's a very valid point. And I would definitely say the exact same thing is like use it as motivation to like get you better.
Yeah.
And you know what? That goes along. That's your development right there.
Yeah.
That's what you call. It's crazy I'm about to say. That's what you call main character development. There's your why.
Yeah.
There's your why right there. And you use that as motivation. You get better. And eventually coach will see you. But like David said, if your coach still does not see you in that way, that's just all the more reason to just leave at that point.
Yeah.
Because that coach is not going to help you.
Yeah. You will not be getting help.
Doesn't matter what the sport is. If your coach does not see you getting better at what you're trying to do and still continues to harp on everybody, continues to invest in everybody else but not you.
Yeah, that's just called being neglected. That's something no one should have to put up with. And if you are, I'd have a serious long thought process about what your next action is.
Yeah.
So
and coaches don't like we talked about earlier, don't invest in people too early. If you want to invest in something, invest in the entire team.
Yeah. Treat everyone the same, and when you treat everyone the same, that's when you'll get the best from every player.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where you also find your best players.
Exactly.
And the ones that work together. Because I think we've talked about this in previous episodes, just because you're a better player, that doesn't mean you'll start.
Exactly.
It just might be that certain players fit better together and the team wins better with that certain group on the floor to start. That doesn't mean the coach won't use you. Like we talked about, Braden Frager, I think is a very talented player.
Yeah.
but the way our team is formatted, I think he is an amazing guy to have off the bench.
Yeah.
So.
And I would. Okay. I was gonna bring in someone for. Is there someone in football for that? Yeah, probably not. I don't think so. Oh, okay. There was somebody in football that was kind of like that, but it's kind of like a mixed bag. So it was like the QB competition. I don't know. When did you start watching Husker football?
This year.
Okay. So there were two QBs that Nebraska had, and this wasn't in the Matt Rule era. This was in the Scott Frost era.
Okay, my dad probably knows about it.
Yeah. Is your dad? You know what? There's like other questions I probably should ask you, but this is not the podcast episode for that.
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna do like a one-on-one with you. Yeah. There was a QB battle between 2021 and 2022. No way. In 2020 and 2021 in those both seasons. In two of those seasons. It was Luke McCaffrey and Adrian Martinez.
Okay.
And those of you who know who Adrian Martinez is, he was a very good QB starting off like as a freshman. He was supposed to be like one of the better QBs. And this is a prime example of him for development. His development kind of wavered from freshman to sophomore to junior year. And in college football, they call it like a sophomore slump. And like that's pretty common in college football to have a sophomore slump. And with besides that sophomore slump, in Adrian's junior year, he was no, not his junior year, his sophomore year. In Adrian Martinez's sophomore year, Luke McCaffrey pushed him, and Luke McCaffrey was a QB coming in. Right now in the NFL, Luke McCaffrey, he is now a wide receiver. So he went from QB running back.
Does he play for the Panthers?
No, he plays for the Commanders.
Is he starting?
I'm not sure.
Sorry. Anyways, continue.
But back then he was a QB at Nebraska before he transferred. And a lot of people when Adrian Martinez went in the slump, they wanted Luke McCaffrey to come in. Eventually, Scott Frost at the time, he put McCaffrey in, and McCaffrey was doing good things for us, but McCaffrey he was a talented freshman, but he was still a freshman.
Yeah.
Was the problem. And there was some stuff that he needed to learn. And so it was like a QB thing going back and forth, put Luke in, put Adrian in. And it was like, you're messing with players' development when you do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, how is somebody supposed to get better if you're not giving them a chance?
Yeah.
And
just pulling them for a mistake. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
that's another thing, coaches. You got to let your players make a mistake. If they make a mistake, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to mess up.
Yeah, if you're like if you make it to where if you make a mistake, we're just instantly going to boot you off. Now, would you say it depends on the mistake that's being made? Because certain mistakes, I would say, is like now if someone false starts like once, like okay, no, I'm not pulling you for that. But if you're false starting like multiple times, then I'm going to pull you.
Yeah.
But I would say, I'm gonna say this.
That's why I said let your players make a mistake.
Yeah, there's one probably like once or twice. Yeah. It's like let them understand. It's like okay, it's fine to make those mistakes, but once you get to like 3 or 4, it's like no, that's where you have to pull them out. That's why basketball has fouls. That's why football has flags.
Mhm.
Soccer has the cards.
Yeah.
Like that. Those are to like let those players know, like, hey, you can't do this, you can't do that. Those are learning opportunities that those players should take advantage of. Should.
Yeah.
But we went a little bit off topic there on accident. Now, how do you stay confident when others seem ahead? I would say, well, I mean, we talked about it.
I think it's just only controlling what you can control.
Yeah.
As long as you're doing that, look, if the coaches aren't giving you playing time and you've asked them and they don't tell you anything and you're doing everything they could possibly be asking for, and there's no need to worry.
Yeah. And I would say when you see other people ahead of you, that's where you should use that as motivation to get better.
Yeah.
Because if you see that and that's where you're like either shy away or get mad at the coaches for not giving you an opportunity, it's like, okay, where's your competitiveness?
Yeah.
Because if you're competitive, then you'll just say challenge accepted, and then just try to that will be your motivation. You try to become better like that. Like you try your absolute best to become better.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're seeing other people being better than you, and you're like, and I can't be like that guy.
Yeah.
Like, why can't it be me? Or you're like, or you just get mad because someone else is better than you. You just don't like it.
Yeah.
You're like, what are you scared for? It's competition.
Yeah.
That's the whole point. Coaches like competition.
Yeah.
Not every coach does, but coaches like competition.
I do.
And if you're not competing, if you don't want the starting spot, then you might as well not play on the team.
Yeah.
But coaches want to see players fight, not literally fight, but coaches want to see players fight to to get better.
Yeah.
Plain and simple as that. Like, don't settle. Ladies and gentlemen, don't settle for less.
This is true.
Do not settle for less. If you want a certain spot, if you want a certain position, get it.
Yeah.
Don't let somebody else take your spot. Don't let somebody else. Don't let your ego destroy. Don't let your ego destroy you because you're not playing. Well, either because you're not playing or you're not getting developed. Don't let your ego destroy you.
Yeah.
Go and do your job the best way you can. Don't settle for less. And continue to grind.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, those coaches see you, and if the coaches don't see you, reevaluate the school you're at.
Yeah.
Plain and simple as that. Outside of that, do you think early success can hurt long-term development? Now, I would say I would say no. Like, if you have early success, then that's not going to hurt you. I believe that's just that's beneficial in multitude of ways, but the biggest way is like you have that confidence, like going into whatever year you're in, if you are an early bloomer. But that's what me and David are talking about, is like you have that confidence, but you don't want to turn that confidence into a messed up ego.
Yeah. Yeah. Essentially.
Yeah, just because you did something and Well, just because you play your sport and you're playing it a lot better than others, that doesn't mean that you're always going to be better than other people, because that's not how that works.
Mm-hmm.
Other people, it's either those people are going to catch up to you, or there's going to be another person that's better than you.
Mm-hmm.
And believe me, there will always be someone better than you.
It's true.
You can have that early success, yes, but it's not going to hurt your long-term development. It may even it may be accelerate your development, because with you having that early success, you have that potential to, all right, we've already won this, we've already done that, so now it's the off season. Let me go ahead and get better so we can do even more.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you have that motivation to do more, to do better. But that's kind of why I was hesitating earlier when it came to this question. If you have that early success and like immediately you have like a huge ego because of it, it's like, okay, now it's going to hurt you.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're using that early success as, oh, well, I'm now untouchable in this school, which doesn't work like that. It never works like that.
It never will.
Because I'm gonna say this, if you go to a high school and then y'all have early success, and now you're somehow untouchable because of that high school and everything, because you had the early success, that's not a good high school to go to.
Mm-hmm.
If players believe that they can do whatever they want, that's going to be an issue on their development, emotional development and physical development.
Yeah.
Mostly because mental and emotional development, those can be coincided as the same. And once they have that ego of, yeah, I did this, we won a state championship, like saying, and they want to start doing like crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That's not going to help them.
Yeah.
At all, because now you gave them that unstoppable ego of, well, I'm the best player in the school. What y'all gonna do if I do this?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all just giving them a reason to basically do whatever they want, and that's not how that works. Because especially if they are so good and they have college offers.
Mm-hmm.
Once they actually go to college or university, they can't do the exact same things that they did in high school, and that's going to destroy them. Because they don't have that maturity, or they don't have that maturity to stop their ego.
Mm-hmm.
Because they think everything is like, well, I'm the best at this, I'm the best at that. It's more that ego is I instead of we.
Mm-hmm.
Not speaking French.
You really can't miss an opportunity to put a dad joke.
I'm not of that.
You really can't miss that opportunity, can you?
Yeah.
All right, continue.
Yeah. Okay. Now, next question is, we already answered this question. Do early stars stop improving? The answer to that is yes. And it depends on either the program, the coaching, or just injuries. Those three in general can stop the athlete from improving. You know what? I'm going to add one more thing. And this is very important. Academics. If you're an early star and your academics are not good,
Mm-hmm.
just because you're that good in whatever sport you're playing,
That you are getting, like, they physically do have to bench you.
yeah, they have to bench you. Because what you mean that, well, coach, I'm dropping, let's say I'm playing basketball. Coach, I dropped 35 points a game. Okay. Why do you have a 2.0 GPA?
Yeah.
Why don't you explain that to me?
Yeah.
Why are you failing this class? Why are you failing that? Why are you failing 5 classes?
Yeah.
Why are you failing 4? To everyone out there, especially to all the athletes, y'all already know how eligibility reports work. And I'm sure it varies state by state, but they're all considered the same. If you're failing,
not many that change.
Yeah. If you're failing one class, you have until that next week to get that grade up.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't get that grade up, you're not playing. Simple as that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the one of the differences is that you can't have an F or you can't have a D. You have to have a C.
Yeah, pretty much.
Some states they allow a D, but if you don't have a C,
yeah, in most states you're screwed if you don't have a C at least.
It's like the whole purpose of being a student athlete. I'm changing that up. When it comes to student athletes, what is always first? The student part. If you're not being a student, you're not good. Okay. If you're not being a student, you're basically selling yourself short.
You are selling yourself.
You're selling yourself short.
Very short.
And was that you?
Mm.
And for the late bloomers out there, you definitely don't want to have a lower GPA. And you want to make sure that your grades are on top because,
especially if you're already being overlooked, you don't want to give them another opportunity or another reason to overlook you.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, yeah,
like
the best you can do is stay on top of your grades.
Best thing you can do. Like, there's no reason why you should have 1 F. If you don't have even 1 F,
you shouldn't even have 1.
Yeah, and you know what? I'll even have something better. Make sure that if you're doing your homework and stuff, make sure that you're not asking somebody else to do it for you. Because whether you like it or not, coaches are going to find out if somebody else is doing it for you. And that's another way that players could get benched because they know that you're not doing your actual classwork. You're letting somebody else do it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Now you see all them some of those Disney Channel shows are those cartoon shows that have some bully athlete asking some nerd to do their homework for them.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, if a coach really cares about you and you're doing that kind of stuff, that coach is going to bench you. He doesn't care.
Yeah, probably.
And if it's bad enough, he might even cut you.
Yeah. Probably.
Well, so when you see that on older cartoon shows or older Disney and Nick shows, that's not the reality. Like a coach is not going to let that slide.
Yeah. Oh, probably not.
Doesn't matter if you're an early bloomer or late bloomer, don't do it. The overall message to this is
just don't let your grade slip.
Don't let your late grade slip. And anybody, doesn't matter who they are, they can stop improving in a multitude of ways.
Yeah. Yeah. Don't have your grades limit your court success. Come on.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you guys can control. So
yeah, absolutely.
All right. What's the next question?
Now we are moving on to our second segment. Jeez. And that's basically development isn't linear. And
yeah, it's not.
It's never.
Guys, don't think how someone trains is how you're going to improve. It's not going to work like that.
Absolutely. And here's and this is what we're talking about here, is athletes experience at least 4 of these. Setbacks, plateaus, confidence swings, and injuries. Now, confidence swings, it all depends on the athlete and how they feeling. Because, I mean, if they are not feeling good about the sport they're playing, it's going to be low. If they're feeling great about the sport they're playing, it's going to be high. But I would say with the confidence swings, it affects the rest of the 3.
Yeah.
And this is where, and this is the first question when it comes to this segment is, have you ever gone a season where you plateaued?
Where I've just,
like you stopped improving?
Yeah, my junior year I just stopped improving. The coaching was bad. We didn't do a lot of good drills. And I don't know. I definitely lost my motivation just athletically in general next year, that year. So I don't know. That was definitely probably the worst year I had and set me back a little bit. But yeah, I mean, if I had to pick any year, it'd probably be that year. So
I would definitely say that when it comes to me, plateaued. No. Oh, well, okay. In basketball, yeah, I plateaued in 8th grade. That was the highest I was ever going to feel in playing basketball. And then after that, I just crashed because, like, I mean, just things didn't go my way. And yeah. But let's move on to our next question. What's the hardest slump you've ever experienced as an athlete? I would definitely say between junior and senior year, once I got injured, it was not a very good start preseason for all 4 of my games because how they all started for me was cramp. Also, there was something else also going on. Along with that, second preseason game, cramp again. That entire game, so it was terrible. Third game, lost confidence. I didn't believe myself, even though that was before the game. After the game, I gained that confidence right back. And then the first game of the season, I did not play good at all. So, and ultimately, that was a very bad slump. I wouldn't even call it a slump. I'll call it more of a crash because I did not feel good as an athlete and I didn't feel confident anymore. David, what is the hardest slump that you've ever experienced as an athlete?
yeah, so it would probably have to be probably my junior year, where, and I've said this, the coaching wasn't great. We didn't do any shooting or really offensive drills. And for those of you who play basketball, our system was 5 out and 32. That was our offense.
5 out and 32. Gee, it's been a while since I played basketball.
5 out, so 5 on the 3-point line.
5 on the 3-point line?
Like, it's your basic, like, middle school type offense.
Well, you know what? Yeah, that does make sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's basically our system as that my junior year we were running as a high school program was for middle schoolers. That's the only type of offense we ever did. Other than that, we did mainly defensive drills. So I had a shooting slump for a couple of games where I could just not put the ball in the basket because we just did not practice shots. My practice shots were my in-game shots. So I had a couple of rough games. I slowly started to figure it out towards the end of the season, but it was rough overall. So
yeah, man, going on the shooting slump is definitely like. I would say that was probably like one of the worst things that can happen to basketball players. Going on shooting slumps.
Yeah,
especially if you're in college and you go on a shooting slump, bro. Everybody's going to be talking about it.
Yeah,
and heck, was it they even because besides Braden Frager hasn't really been on a shooting slump yet, but there's only one other player that has that's Rank Mass. No disrespect to Rank Mass, but Yeah, there has been like lots of people that have been talking about you being in the shooting slump.
He's definitely had his games for sure.
Yeah,
We're not going to deny that.
Yeah, he's still a good player. It's just it happens to any basketball players.
Yeah,
Like
every player, including the best ones, have had their shooting slumps. So
yeah, and even besides shooting slumps, as athletes, we're all going to have that slump in whatever it is in their sport. You don't know what it is. In soccer, you might not score goals. Like it's always either going to get either it'll get blocked or you keep missing. That's a scoring slump. In football, you don't do stuff consistently because you might not be able to do stuff consistently. Like you might not be able to catch consistently. You might not be able to throw consistently.
Mhm.
Might not be able to block consistently. You might not be able to kick consistently. Those are slumps.
Yeah.
Track and field. Like you don't have consistent timing. You don't have consistent throwing stats. All of those are slumps. Everybody is going to go through a slump. It happens to us as athletes. Just because you are an early star, that does not mean that you won't get in any slumps.
It's almost, you are going to get into a slump. No player plays 100% perfect.
Exactly.
So you're going to have your good games and you're going to have your bad games. So.
And you know what? If you are early star and you have those bad games, that's where you ask those late bloomers, or that's where you ask your teammates to help you pick up the slack.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what makes a team.
That's good. Yeah.
Those can all help you with personal development. Hey, now, performance question right here. Why do athletes struggle when they move up levels?
I mean, the simplest answer is a newer system.
Mm-hmm.
It's a more new system. It's better players, better teams, physically. They're mentally tougher. They know what they're doing. So I think those are just few factors. And I think also another main factor could be environment. So I think you have environment, you have competitiveness, and then you have system. I think those are probably the three that majority of the time players struggle with one out of the three, if not two or all of them.
Yeah. And I'll also say as well that but you already talked about competition, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So there's nothing for me to add on there because he just hit on all 3 points. Competition, the playing style, and what was the third one?
Competition, playing style, and I said system.
System, yeah. So all 3 of those can or not can will affect will affect you in some kind of way. Now, the other question to that would be what separates athletes who break through plateaus? Well, okay. You know what? I think I'm probably going to delete that question because, yeah, I'm just going to delete that question. So don't worry about that. Now, we're going to talk about something about the mental capacity of athletes.
Mm-hmm.
How important is it that athletes have confidence in their development?
Oh, I mean, it's everything. If you're not confident that you can make improvements and that you can't get better, there's no point in being an athlete.
Yeah.
It's just a concept of life. Like you're going to fail. Like you're not gonna succeed at everything you do first, second, or even third try. You're gonna have to keep getting hit and being able to get back up.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the Rocky quote? It's not about how hard you get hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep going. Some that I don't think that might not be right, but what's the quote? You know what I'm talking about.
Which Rocky?
I don't know.
Because like I don't know how many Rocky films are on. Okay, I pulled it up. It ain't about how hard you get; it's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward.
Okay.
How much you can take and keep moving forward.
Yeah.
That's how winning is done.
Okay. Yeah.
You know that I would definitely say that's that is the answer to this question about how how important confidence is in athletes' development. What should athletes do when they feel stuck?
I think like stuck in where like their playing time or like their development.
In their development, especially their mental development.
When you say mental development, what do you mean?
Like they can't get out of the cycle of, well, this dude's better than me or this woman is better than me, and I can't surpass them.
I think you're. See, I've never like seen it like that. That's just like me doubting. I don't see that as a development. I see that as just me as a doubt. So I'd say for that, one, only focus on what you can control. Don't worry about other people. Two, talk to your coaches about what you can do to get better.
Absolutely.
So those are probably the two most important things that I'd say.
And I would 100% agree with that. Now we're going to move on to. Well, I mean, I would also characterize that as overthinking. Because the moment you get to that mindset of, well, this person's better than me, that person's better than me, and I can't get out of this, and like I'm one to become better so badly, but I can't. But I somehow, for some reason, I can't do it. Right at that point, you're overthinking, and that's literally what happens when you start overthinking. Is like you just start doubting yourself. You just start having a bit of victim mentality, and we talked about victim mentality in one of our previous episodes.
Yeah.
And when you start to get to that point, that's where what David said is very important. Like, go talk to your coaches about that. Because if you start doubting yourself, and the moment you start doubting yourself, that's where your play starts to suffer. Because you start doubting yourself, then you're not going to give your 100%. You're not going to give your all. You're going to start, instead of 100% effort, you're going to give 80%, maybe 70%.
Yeah.
And that right there, coaches can see that. That's going to make you suffer even more. So I would definitely say if you're going to start overthinking, like go talk to your coach, go talk to your parents about how you what you're feeling, how you're feeling.
Yeah.
Because nothing good happens when you start overthinking.
Yeah, it'll only lead to more harm.
Exactly. Now we're going to move on to our last two questions in this segment. And it's going to be talking about social media use. Do social media highlights create unrealistic expectations? And I'm going to say the answer to this is yeah, because to you know what, specifically football players here, just because you've seen an athlete catch with one hand, that doesn't mean that you can do it also. Because I'm going to let you know right now, majority of wide receiver coaches are going to say a couple things, but one of the most important ones is 2 hands,
Yeah.
not one.
Yeah, you're gonna get criticized.
You're gonna get criticized instantly. Like you gotta use 2 hands when you catch.
Yeah, I think social media definitely puts some more unrealistic and unnecessary pressure on people, on athletes to perform. I would definitely not disagree with you there.
Yeah. And you know what? Not only that, when you're a freshman coming into high school and you see these high school athletes that's already played, like they're already 3 years, 2 years, maybe even 4 years in, and you see them make amazing plays, amazing catches, amazing highlights. And this is for both men and women here. And you see that, you instantly are like, well, I can do that. I can do the exact same thing. No, you cannot. Because at that, now you're messing with your own development again.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're thinking that you can do all this right now as a freshman, and you're like, if I just do this, if I just do that, then I can get scholarship offers. No,
Yeah, no.
that takes time. You need to slow down and take your time. Those athletes who can do stuff like that, it took years of dedication to the game. Whatever sport they play, it took years of dedication for them to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, some of that may be genetics.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I think it's just sticking to your training and sticking to your way of doing things. Don't try to be somebody else. Everyone is their own unique player. No one player is the same as an upperclassman. Like one freshman can never be like an upperclassman.
Yeah.
Because they're such a different player for such a different time of their basketball. So
yeah, and same thing with football, same thing for any sport. And it's like you have to slow down. You have to slow down. It's cool to look at those highlights and say, well, these plays are cold. These plays are awesome. Like he's killing it, she's killing it. These are awesome. But that doesn't mean that if your mindset is immediately what you see when you see that is, oh, I'm gonna try and do the exact same thing. And if I can do it, I am D1, I am Division I materials, I am college material, I am university material, and people should start offering me scholarships. No. Because I'm gonna say this. Coaches, when they see players post those highlights, sure, they like it and all, but they want to see those other highlights of them like actually developing.
yeah.
Like they want to see that progression of sophomore to junior to senior. They want to see that progression. They don't want to see. Some coaches would like to see like freshmen like immediately like right off the bat. It's like, oh, it's like, yeah, we need to offer this guy now because this guy's going to be amazing. Some coaches do that, but not a lot of coaches will do that.
Yeah, that's a very rare.
Yeah, and you know what? Here's a prime example of this. It's calling one out, but Baby Gronk. That little thing with him about him being an eighth grader or whatever, and he's already have scholarship offers. That's rare. That never happens. That usually never happens.
Yeah.
Because they are still too young. They still haven't developed.
Yeah.
You don't know what that player is going to be. And you're just immediately like offering them scholarship offers?
Yeah.
That's not how that works. And then you coming in as a freshman and you seeing those amazing plays, or you seeing people getting scholarships and they're however old they are, and you think that you're going to get those as well? You will at some point, but you're a freshman coming into high school.
Yeah.
You need to slow down, take your time, and
just let things play out.
Yeah, and develop. Now, if you're a senior and you're looking at highlights and you're saying, yeah, I can do the same thing. That's a bit different.
That's different.
That's different because I'm sure you can make those plays, but you also know in the back of your mind that coaches don't want to see that all the time.
Yeah.
They don't want to. You know what? I'm gonna say this: plays that you see on social media of players doing that, they'll be hyped that the player made it. But guess what? What happens when you go in that film session? That coach is going to criticize that same exact player. They're going to like saying, "Hey, like if someone's playing receiver, hey, two hands. I'm happy you caught the football."
Yeah, they're gonna get back down to the basics.
Yeah, like saying you cannot do that.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is for volleyball or for all the other sports, but those film sessions are always going to have those coaches whenever they are not like in the game mood and they're more in the practice mood of like getting better. They're going to be a lot more critical.
Yeah.
So whatever you see on social media, that's fine and dandy and all, but don't expect that to happen every single time.
Mm-hmm.
The next question is: do young athletes feel more pressure today to improve faster? The answer to that is yes, and that's because of social media.
Yeah.
That's the thing looking down. I think feels ashamed. But the answer to that is 100% yes. And we just discussed about it. Is that like when they see athletes making those, when they see other student athletes making these incredible plays, no matter what sport they're playing, they are going to immediately they're going to immediately be like, "Oh, I can do the exact same thing." No,
Yeah.
like chill out. Take your time, man. And for the upperclassmen that are like trying to like saying, "Yeah, you can do the same thing," like we want to see you try and do it. That's cool to give the younger. You know what? Upperclassmen need to give underclassmen confidence. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you give them bad advice like that,
yeah,
and then have them get their butts chewed out by the coach for taking that advice,
mm-hmm.
you're just setting them up for failure.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is a reflection question. What advice would you give to an athlete who feels stuck right now?
I think some advice I would give is, just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, if you're working as hard as you can to improve, I mean, if you feel stuck doing that, just keep working. Just keep going. And if you really feel like you're stuck, then ask your coach what you can do. What does he really need you to improve on? What can he see from you that'll change his mind? So those would probably be those two, but don't give up and just keep moving forward.
Absolutely. I'll also say the exact same thing. Just don't give up. Like keep going. The only way you can get better is if you keep going.
Yeah.
It's. I'm gonna bring in an anime reference right now.
Don't watch anime, so you got that.
I got it. Those of you who watch Black Clover, y'all know who Captain Yami is.
This guy. Look at this guy.
When Captain Yami says, "Surpass your limits, you do so."
This guy.
You give it all you got. Keep going. Keep driving. You know, that's another movie quote, but I forgot what movie that is. But when the coach says, "Keep going, keep driving, keep giving it your all." And when he's talking to the specific football player, the football player he's crawling to the 100. He's calling 100 yards from touchdown to touchdown, and he's crawling blindfolded, and he's carrying his teammate on his back, and the coach is giving him encouragement. to keep going. Surpass your limits, ladies and gentlemen. Surpass your limits. And like David said, if you don't know where to start, ask your coach. And you know what? For all the players whose mom or dad is coaching them, definitely ask your parents. If your parents also played the sport that you're currently playing in, ask them for advice because they've probably been through that situation before. And if they haven't, ask them what did they do to keep themselves from that situation, to keep themselves from being stuck. That's what I'd say. And yes, to anyone out there, I do watch anime. Now what? I don't care. I don't care.
This guy's a cornball.
I'm a cornball. This guy right here, he doesn't appreciate anime like that. But you know what? I am not the kind of person who pressures other people who don't watch anime. I'm not going to press nobody for that.
He's pressed me before.
Describe a time where I've pressed you.
Last week at Citigroup, when you mentioned an anime and you got pissed.
That's cap. That's 100% cap. Because I've never mentioned in Citigroup that I've watched anime. Never.
Anyways.
We're going to move on to our third segment here. And that's when to specialize versus when to explore options. Not options. I'm going to have to delete that. We're going to move on to our third segment. When to specialize versus when to explore positions. Now, this does depend on sport to sport for men's and women. So I don't know all the sports I don't know all the positions on every single sport.
Yeah.
So just a discretion. The first question is, did you play multiple positions growing up? First question.
Yes. Yeah, I did. I was a power forward. I was a shooting guard middle school. And then I was power forward my 8th grade year. I was a small forward my sophomore. Yeah, my sophomore and junior year. And my senior year. So I guess, yeah, I mean, I played 3 positions, but probably the 2 primary were power forward and then small forward. So I was always like around that area. And then when I got to the public school my senior year, I mean, they played me mostly at small forward, but sometimes they did use me as a very small power forward, just depending on the game and who was in. So,
how did switching positions help your development?
I mean, when I became a small forward, it helped me to actually dribble the ball more and handle game type, pressure defense, as well as finally get my shooting down. My 8th grade year, I didn't have a shot at all because they didn't let me shoot. And when I finally moved to small forward, I was finally able to shoot. So,
okay. Now, as for me, when I was playing football, you know what? I'll even say basketball as well. Basketball, I was always like a center to power forward. Now, when it came to football, I did play multiple positions. So I played receiver, receiver, H-back, fullback, tight end, and then all across the line. And did it help my development when it comes to playing on the O line? A little bit, because I knew where my gap was, so then the running back can go through it. And when it comes to football, when it comes to gap scheme, because there's either I know how to read. I know how. Okay, how do I say this? I know gap scheme and I know gap assignments. Also, need to specify that I also play defense as well, so playing defensive and defensive tackle and stuff like that. But I know gap schemes, and playing multiple positions did help me learn gap schemes. Now, what skills can athletes develop from learning multiple positions? You know what? I just explained it right there. When you're playing football, especially if you're playing O line, if you're playing, let's say you're playing O line and you get switched to defensive line, you know gap schemes. You know where what 1 3 5 7 is. You know what 2 4 6 8 is. You know where the A gap is. You know where the B gap is. You know where C gap is. You know different zones. That, it is beneficial for athletes if you play multitude positions, because then now you're taking your development to a whole new level, because now you know what you're doing. You know where certain plays are going to go.
Yeah. Said pretty well.
Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know, when it comes to basketball, I don't really know much about playing multiple how to learn from playing multiple positions other than uh
There isn't much to like learn how to like in terms of like neutralizing position, like in the neutralizing, like there's no like advantage in that sense, but yeah, I mean it's just because every position is so like different and unique in basketball.
There's a point
Because there's only five. There's only 5 positions. Football, there's like what 20 more. There's probably more because you got offense and defense included. So
special teams as well.
And special teams, yeah.
Absolutely.
So I don't know if I would say it benefits, but I mean, if you like for me, when I was a power forward, like I learned how to play physical.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I learned like how to rebound and how to get jump balls and all that stuff. And when I moved to small forward, it's not like I definitely did not lose that side. Well, I actually know how it could help because Scottie Pippen, going back to him, you know, he was just like 5'9" guy, 5'10", smaller guy,
Mm-hmm.
and he had great handles. When he grew to that 6'5", 6'6" frame, he kept his handles. So he essentially became a small forward, power forward that was a point guard.
Ooh.
Like he was one of the first he was one of the first point forward. Magic Johnson too.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first like big point guards, like he was 6'9". So it gives you like each position can give you an advantage, and when you're switched, you still keep those skills. Like if let's say you're a 5'10",
Mm-hmm.
you become a great shooter. You grow to like 6'10", you grow a whole foot, and you're a center. You still keep that shot. So it's you at your position. You want to specialize in what your position does, so that if you do get moved, you can then develop those skills as well. But you also keep those skills that you had from the original position.
Now, comment. I'm gonna say this as well, because since we only talk, me on the football side of things and David for the basketball side of things, we don't know all the sports. We don't know all the positions, and we don't know how switching positions can help the athlete's development. So, comment down below how, whatever your sport is, comment how switching positions can help other athletes develop in their sports. If you're on YouTube, got to be specific right there. Does versatility make athletes smarter players? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and like I said, I keep repeating this. If you know what the other team is doing because of because of you switching positions. Are you switching from offense to defense or defense from offense or from defense to offense? That's basically like I consider that a power play because here's a good example of this. Prince, I'm going to butcher this. I'm so sorry if I butcher your name, Prince. Umakimaran. Umakamara. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name, but he was a cornerback. Wait, no. I think he was a receiver first. Let me double check that. Okay. Prince Mugamera, if I butchered this, I apologize. He was a wide receiver first before he became a corner. And the moment that he became a corner, he knew what the receiver was doing, and he became one of the best receivers in college and in the NFL. And those of you who know who Prince is, he was a Nebraska Cornhusker from okay. He was a Cornhusker from 2007 to 2010.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, we were all very young. I was especially very young.
Dude, I was like 2.
That's cat. 2007?
I was 1. I'm 06.
You're 06?
Buddy, yes.
Wait, 2007. What? Okay. Wait.
You were born in 05, correct?
04.
Okay, 04. I was born in 06.
06. Okay.
December of 06.
December of 06.
So I wasn't even 1 in 07.
Okay.
Don't say cap.
Yeah. Because wait, 2007. Because he entered 2007. That means. Oh, 3. Oh, 3.
When's your birthday?
May 24th.
Okay, yeah, you were 3.
I was 3. Yeah. So I wouldn't even recognize it.
Anyways, what's your point?
My main point was for those people who know who Prince Mukamara is, he was on the Nebraska Cornhuskers team from 2007 to 2010, and he was somebody who switched from wide receiver to cornerback. I mean, he became a better corner than a receiver. You can still play him as a receiver, but he was a better corner. And he won 2 Super Bowl championships. And one of them was on I think the Giants. But that's just one player. The other player I'm going to mention now. Those of you, if I mention this player, those of you who, I'm just going to say it. LeBron James. LeBron has played every single position on the court. He has played point guard. He has played shooting guard. He has played small forward. He has played power forward, and he has played a center.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Where did he play center? I feel like if you're saying these facts, you need to like fact check them before you say them.
LeBron James primarily played center during the 2021-22 NBA season, specifically during his first career game at the position to December 29, 2021 against Houston Rockets due to injury and small ball lineups. So this was him when he was a Laker.
Okay.
So I was correct in that.
Okay.
Yeah. So he played every single position. I know when that I remember when that fact dropped. I was like, no way, he played every single position, and he actually has.
Yeah.
It was odd. And of course, y'all no. But yeah, LeBron James playing every single position, and you know what? That helped him become one of the best, or one of not only the best, but one of the smartest NBA basketball players ever played the position to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
And that just goes to show that yes, being versatile, being adaptable to your sport, it's important because once you figure out each position, once you figure out what each position does and how they navigate, you'll be able to take control of the game, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to go to. Oh, I have a personal question. Okay. Now, along with that, okay? At what age should athletes start specializing in their position?
I think sophomore year is a great year.
You know what? I'm not gonna ask that question because I actually agree with you. And would you like to give an example? Well, would you like to give your reasoning?
Yeah, because you can't do it in middle school.
Yeah.
I think middle school you have to keep improving everything.
Mhm.
I feel like by your sophomore year, you're pretty much gonna be set. Not that you can't have a growth spurt, but I feel like you should know what you want to do
Mhm.
towards the end of your sophomore year, beginning of your junior year.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
but I don't feel like yeah.
You don't feel like what?
I get what you mean by specializing, but I just don't feel like I feel like when you know your position, you specialize in that position.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you meant like in like one specific skill set.
No, I'm talking about one specific position.
Okay. Then probably by sophomore year,
By sophomore year,
I would say.
I would tend to agree with you because if you're a junior and you're still like changing positions and stuff like that, I feel like that's pretty late to do that.
Yeah.
And like you only have, was it one more year to get used to that position, and that's your senior year. Versus when you're a sophomore and you know what position you're going out for,
Mm-hmm.
and you already had that development from from your freshman year, and then you still have 2 more years behind that, you are going to progressively get better.
Mm-hmm.
But for sure, a if you're a junior, that switching positions would not be a necessarily good idea unless you're switching to a position kind of similar to the position you're currently playing at.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's not that, nothing too drastic. Like don't switch positions. Don't switch positions drastically. Now, next question is: can switching positions help with recruiting chances? It depends on. Well, at that point,
It depends on the switch.
yeah, it depends on the switch because you can go from receiver to corner. You can do that.
Yeah.
That's actually like a lot helpful if you're a receiver and a corner.
Now, if you go in basketball from like center to point guard,
No,
you might be screwed.
because I think at that point if you're a center and you have handles, maybe.
Well, like I'm saying, like if you wanted to play college basketball and you had to switch to
Mm-hmm.
point guard because you were like a 6'5", 6'6" center, but obviously that's like a normal like shooting guard, small forward type heights in college.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And then let me ask you something. What do you think of Wimbyama?
what do you mean?
Since he is a center that can literally play.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a freak of nature. There's no other word to describe it. When you talk about a specimen, like he's just that special. He's just there's like his genetics are perfect. I think you know what I got to give him credit for?
Mm.
His stretching. Like, have you seen the like types of stretches he does to like make sure, like when his ankles roll, he can take the hit?
Yeah. Okay, not his ankle. No, I've seen like others like.
No. But like he does like ankle stretches. He does like strength. He does like ankle strength workouts to like work those muscles to make sure like when he does, because obviously he's gonna roll his ankle
Yeah.
at that position so that when that does happen, he can take a hit. But I gotta give him credit for like his recovery and his uh pregame workouts. Like they're like his trainer knows what he's doing. But no, he's just like he's a player like we've never seen before. I would not be shocked if he enters the GOAT conversation and it becomes the GOAT.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not gonna be shocked.
I'm gonna say this.
If we're talking about physical specimens that can do it all and he ends up winning a couple, if he gets up there 3, 4, 5 championships, I think
with the
that
Spurs, yeah, definitely.
I think that we have a real discussion.
I'm gonna say this too. If he somehow
MJ will forever be the GOAT in my heart. I think MJ changed the game forever. I just think his mentality is different.
Mhm.
But I see a lot of MJ in Wemby because
really?
Victor Wembanyama started actually playing basketball at the All-Star game instead of treating it like a joke, and everyone else got more competitive when Wembanyama was in the game.
Oh yeah, that is true.
So it's that type of stuff that Michael Jordan brought that Wemby is starting to bring back to the league.
Yeah.
So MJ is forever the GOAT in my heart, but I would not be shocked if we see Wemby in the next decade or so enter that conversation.
Okay. Now I was gonna bring. I'm gonna say this as well, but I'm also gonna bring in another basketball player. But if Wembanyama starts doing Giannis type stuff, like put on like tons of muscle, I'm like, damn it, the NBA is ruined. Well, I wouldn't say it's ruined, but it's like, oh, it's chaotic now.
No, you're screwed. And he very well could. If he puts on muscle like Giannis, yeah, then
I'm like, oh no,
you're
oh no,
in trouble.
oh no,
You're in trouble.
and you know what? Because Wemby does not like Chet Holmgren. I'm like, Chet, if you don't put on some muscle, bro, that's going to be a problem. That's going to be an issue for you because he especially hates you.
Yeah.
He hates you especially.
Yeah.
And you know what? Besides Wembanyama in the All-Star game, you know who else kind of like brought that Michael Jordan mentality? Or you could say even the Mamba mentality?
Ooh.
Anthony Edwards.
Oh, yeah. I think he becomes the face of the... I think him and Wemby battle for the face of the league for the longest time.
Uh-huh.
I think that's the new, like, LeBron Curry type rivalry. I think we can get that out of those two. That might be a hot take, but
Really?
because they're so young and we've seen like what they can do so early.
Mhm.
Like think about Curry took a couple like how many years? Like 3, 4, 5 years to really develop into a star. Like Ant was a star pretty much. Ant and Wemby were pretty much stars the time they came into the league.
Okay.
I mean, the league is so much older. It's so old.
Yeah.
It's so old.
It doesn't feel right anymore.
It doesn't feel like it's old, but it's old.
Yeah. You know what? Sorry. Right here. I wouldn't say it will be Anthony Edwards and Wemby. I would probably think maybe Anthony Edwards and probably Shea, or Anthony Edwards or.
See, I'm not putting Shea in anything. I just don't like him.
Oh, okay.
But anyways,
how about Cade? Cade, come in here.
Let's see it.
You can see it.
Anyways, moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Isn't that kind of podcast? Maybe it could be in the future. I don't know. I could make a separate podcast for that. Is it better to be elite at one position or versatile at many?
Oh,
This is a great question. To me,
I think it depends on what your team needs.
yes.
It has to.
Yeah.
Because if you're good at just one position and you're able to stick with it, you'll be set.
Yeah.
But if you're versatile in every position and that's what your team needs, and that's what colleges look for both.
Yeah.
Like they look for point guards who do just the point guard stuff, and then they look for those small forwards who can do everything.
Yeah.
It just depends on what your high school and what the college needs.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's a loaded question. I'd say it depends.
I would also say it depends because I would definitely say if you are elite at one position, and it depends on whatever position you play in your sport, coaches are definitely going to want you. 100%. You're going to get scholarships. You're going to get offers from schools if you're elite at that one position. Like, yeah, we need you specifically.
Mm-hmm.
But if you are versatile at a lot of positions, especially if it's football, if you're versatile, oh man,
Yeah.
coaches are definitely going to want you because he's like, oh, and we talked about this in, we just talked about this. Does it make you smarter if you learn multiple positions? The answer to that's going to be yeah, because the coaches are going to recognize like he knows how to play this position, but he also played that other position in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So he has knowledge of what that offensive lineman is going to do, or what that defensive line is going to do, what that running back is going to do, what that linebacker is going to do, what that corner is going to do, what that receiver is going to do.
What's the dog doing?
I need to learn how to put
Sound effects.
on here.
That would be funny. What the dog doing? But
well, I think I have a suspicion on how to put the sound effects on here, but I just need to confirm it. Outside of that, do coaches sometimes push athletes into positions too early?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
A middle school coach is pushing that 6-foot specimen into the center position, and they are never developing their handles, shooting, or anything else. They're sitting in the paint, they're grabbing rebounds, and they are learning how to, throw elbows around, which is all good and all. But you have to be able to. I'm sorry, a 6-foot center doesn't fly in high school. Especially if you want to be competitive. If you want to go like jack around in like one of these like small programs like that win maybe one game a year, totally fine, stick to that. But if you actually want to play competitively, and I think that's mostly the people we're talking to, that people who want to play competitively.
Yeah.
No, you have to develop all skills early. Then specify as you get on in the high school and figure out where you fit.
Mm-hmm.
In my opinion, your freshman, sophomore, and the first half of your junior year is figuring it out. Testing the waters. Because your junior year, you're probably just new on varsity.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So you can't say you can't transition from sophomore year to junior year like, oh, this is the position I'm going to play. No.
Yeah.
Because my sophomore year, the guys I would have played with, that I played against, I would have probably been their power forward.
Yeah.
Right? But they would have moved me to a small forward shooting guard position my junior year because of the guys we had on varsity compared to the sophomore team. So I feel like sophomore year, you freshman, sophomore, and then first half of junior year, you got to be figuring it out. You got to test the waters on all positions. Now, obviously, if you're 6 foot, like those 3 years, don't be testing the water position. Don't be testing the waters as a center.
Yeah.
Don't be doing that.
Please don't. Please don't.
Don't be doing that. Or a power forward.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're like, I'm actually better at dribbling than I am shooting, then go be a point guard.
Yeah.
If you're better at shooting than dribbling, be like, okay, I'm probably going to try to focus on shooting guard. Not that you shouldn't develop these skills, because a point guard should be able to shoot and a shooting guard should be able to dribble. But one's meant for don't take up a position you're not going to be an expert in. You're not going to be good in. No.
And I would definitely say the same thing for football. Yeah, I would definitely say for football's going to be a little bit different because you can get pushed into a certain position because depending on your body weight. Because you can't, some coaches will not put you in a position if they know that you can't handle it physically, depending on the coach. Some coaches might not care. Some coaches would probably do care. They would some coaches would not want to see O lineman that is between 260 and 190 playing on O line. No coach wants to see that. Why? Because they know that O line is going to be the weak one because he can't handle it. And no coach is going to want a person who is 290 playing receiver.
Yeah.
They'll probably want that person to be 290 to play either tight end or fullback, but not as a receiver. No, because they know that's a lot of weight that's running around, and that's going to be more of a detriment to you.
Yeah.
So in football, it does depend. It just depends. Like in all the other sports as well. Like I'm sure it also depends on your height and weight as well. So we can't really talk about that right now.
Mm-hmm.
But for sure, coaches, you should probably be careful to pushing, or coaches, you should probably be careful in putting
Pressure.
putting pressure. I'm gonna have to. Coaches, you should be careful when putting athletes in positions way too early. You gotta let their, especially if they're a freshman, let their body develop a little bit more. Because that's what JV is for, letting their bodies develop. Once their body develops, then you'll get a good sense of, okay, he can play this position. Because, based on how his height is going, he might not get another growth spurt. And that will be a good position for this specific guy. I believe that's how it should go. And then weight-wise, because weight fluctuates.
Yeah.
But if somebody's short and stocky, it's like, okay, yeah, he needs to play this position. He can't play receiver right now because he's short and he has a lot of muscle mass. Next, we're going to be moving on to our closing segment in the rapid fire round. David, early star or late bloomer, which has the advantage?
Late bloomer, because they have that grit and grind mentality, and they have that underdog grit and grind. They have the hard work ethic, so that when they do finally, get their physical advantage that they've been waiting for, they're still going to keep working. Like, they're not going to stop. They're not going to ever be satisfied.
Okay. Should athletes specialize early or play multiple positions?
They should play multiple positions. They need to understand every position. And then once they understand it, pick the one that they think they can benefit the team with the most. And if that means adjusting multiple positions every game to help the team succeed, then yeah, they can do that as well.
Is confidence or work ethic more important for development?
Say that again.
Is confidence or work ethic better? Well, is confidence or work ethic more important for development? Which one is more important, confidence or work ethic for development?
I mean, I feel like it's got to be like those two kind of go hand in hand. Because you have to have a good work ethic, but if you have no confidence, your work ethic means nothing.
That's true.
So if you're not confident on the court or on the field, then your work ethic has no meaning. But if you don't have a hard work ethic, your confidence has no meaning.
Yep. Okay. Is switching positions a setback or an opportunity?
I guess an opportunity. Because look, switching positions is a temporary thing. If your coach did it once, he can do it again. Like if he sees it's,
yeah, that's true.
if he sees it's not working, then he can gladly move you back to your original position.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. That's crazy. Should athletes compare themselves to their teammates? The answer to that is okay. David,
No.
I'm in the same boat. The answer to that is no. Don't compare yourself to your teammates.
Come on.
That's the worst thing you can do.
Don't be doing that, guys.
You develop at your own rate. You shouldn't care about what your teammates do.
Guys, like, come on. What are we doing? Guys, you can only control what you can control.
Exactly. Yeah. Do social media highlights hurt athletes' development? No, they don't, but you have to understand that you have to take your time. You can't do the exact same things that those athletes do.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Is patience the most underrated trait in sports?
Yes. I think it's probably the second one. I think the first one is being humble. I don't think that's talked about enough. Having humility.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yes, I think patience is definitely up there.
Okay. Now, that is it for today's episode of Game Time Podcast. Key takeaways for young athletes for today's episode. Your timeline is not someone else's timeline. Your development is rarely linear. And plateaus and setbacks are part of the process. And your best position might change as you grow. Trust the process and keep going.